If you moved here to Moscow, Idaho tomorrow, where would your kids go to school? That's what today's video is all about. In this video, I'll give you a clear breakdown of your options, public, charter, and private, and where the main campuses actually sit within Moscow and what neighborhoods are nearby so that you can picture what daily life might actually look like. I'm Chris Carpenter. I've lived in Moscow for over a decade and help families looking for the right home match neighborhoods with schools every week. I pulled the essentials into one quick guide so you don't have to dig. We're going to dive in with a general overview of how Moscow stacks up first, and then we'll get into the map tour and school specifics. Education is one of Moscow's strengths. As of 2025, Moscow's district outperforms both Idaho and the US on a number of core measures. Per the Idaho report card, English language arts proficiency sits around 70.7% here, versus roughly 55% in Idaho and about 50% nationally. Math is about 60.9% here versus 40% in Idaho and 40% nationally. Graduation is about 87% in Moscow versus 80% in Idaho and 86% across the US. So overall, Moscow performs well in objective education measures, but perhaps what parents love most is their ability to go about education in the way that they want because of the many options within Moscow. We have public K through 12 with neighborhood elementaries, a single middle school, and one main high school. Charter schools, several private schools including classical Christian and Catholic schools, a robust homeschool scene with local co-ops, and higher education right next door, the University of Idaho and New St. Andrews College in town, and Washington State University about 15 minutes away in Pullman. We also have a good number of other small schools in Moscow that handle niche student and parent needs. If you have a specific situation or educational need, there's a good chance that Moscow has something for you. The one downside or major difference you might not think about is that the public pathway is pretty single-tracked after you get past elementary school, into middle school, and the high school level. Moscow High is the main route. Unlike larger cities, we don't have multiple high schools to choose from. Side note here, we technically do have two public high schools. Paradise Creek Regional High is the second. It does serve a specific purpose for at-risk students, but it's not really intended as a general alternative for everyone. Now that you're familiar with the schooling landscape in Moscow, let's zoom in and dive into some specific schools, where they are, how they're rated, and what's nearby. We're going to hit the most well-known schools in Moscow, so this isn't exhaustive, but like I said before, if you need something specific, there's a good chance Moscow has it. So if you need to, feel free to give us a call and we can help you get connected with the right folks to hear more. We've done this a number of times for people looking to move to the area, but who might want to talk to the principal of a school or teachers first. Transitioning over to the map. So this is Google Maps, an overlay of Moscow. This is the primary downtown quarter in Moscow. Highway 95 running straight through it, north and south, and Highway 8 running east and west with Pullman over on this side and Troy out to the east. So that gives you kind of a little overview as to where we're going to be looking in Moscow. A great place to start when it comes to the elementary schools in Moscow is a website, msd281.org. This is where you'll find the elementary attendance zone maps. So looking at each of these, I'll familiarize you with where Lena Whitmore is, McDonald, and West Park. Starting with the zones, this is the McDonald Elementary School Zone, and you can see that it's primarily on the east side of Moscow. For both a lot of the neighborhoods here and acreage properties to the east side of Moscow, McDonald Elementary is going to be the primary elementary school servicing those, and it is located right here. Transitioning over to Lena Whitmore Elementary, it services the vast majority of central Moscow. It's located right here, and really everything in this central corridor of Moscow, all the public school students go to Lena Whitmore Elementary. Finally, hopping over to West Park Elementary and Russell Elementary, they service primarily the western side of Moscow. a lot of the downtown region here, this southern neighborhood of Moscow, and all of the northwest, west, and south region of Moscow. That one is on the U of I campus over here, right next to Gormley Park. Diving into some more specifics about each one of those elementary schools, starting with McDonald Elementary. Again, it is right here on the east side of Moscow, servicing the majority of these eastern neighborhoods. And it gets an A on the niche score and a 9 out of 10 for grade schools. It's rated number 12 out of 397 public elementary schools in Idaho, has the largest enrollment of students across Moscow public elementary schools as well. This definitely is one of the most highly desired public elementary schools in Moscow, and it services one of the favorite neighborhoods in Moscow as well, which is the Rolling Hills neighborhood right here. And we recently did a walking tour of that neighborhood, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it for you here. Next, Lena Whitmore, like I mentioned, it's right here, servicing the central corridor in Moscow, and it got a B+ rating on niche and 7 out of 10 when it comes to great schools. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it got a 57 when it comes to proficiency in reading, 52 proficiency in math. Not much higher than national or state averages. Now, you might think that the Fort Russell neighborhood, a historic neighborhood in Moscow, another highly desired neighborhood in Moscow, located right here, it's east of downtown, would be serviced by Lena Whitmore because Lena Whitmore's right here. Fort Russell used to have its own elementary school, Russell Elementary, located right here. That was recently shut down just a few years ago, so now this whole Fort Russell corridor is serviced by West Park, which is located over here. West Park received an A score on niche, but there weren't any ratings when it came to great schools. But it was rated number 5 out of 397 public elementary schools in Idaho. Amazing 90% reading scores and 90% math proficiency scores. It's a really small school, only around 150 students. Like I mentioned, West Park is right on the campus, right here, right next to Gormley Park, and just a few minutes from downtown Moscow. Those are your public elementary school options outside of charter schools, and we'll talk about private schools here in a minute too. Now we're going to talk about middle schools. Moscow has a single public middle school. It's rated an A- on niche, and great schools, it got a 7 out of 10. There's nothing specifically outstanding performance-wise, but it is the only public middle school in Moscow, and located on the map, it's kind of east central right here. The middle school is in a great location here. It's got a football field / soccer field, baseball field, tennis courts. It's kitty corner from the Hamilton Low Aquatic Center right here, and has Oiler Field and the skate park in the corner here as well. Continuing down the public track, let's talk about Moscow High School. It received a B+ rating on niche, and on great schools, it got a 4 out of 10. It is the main public school in Moscow, really your only public school option. There's nothing crazy exceptional about it. It's considered pretty average or slightly above average when compared to the overall state. We also mentioned Paradise Creek Regional High, and you will find that on the south side of town right here. That brings us to charter schools. Moscow Charter School is up here on the northeast side of town, right across the street from the Herc right here. And it received an A- rating on niche and 7 out of 10 when it came to great schools. It was ranked number 5 in K-8 charter schools in Idaho and number 8 in public K-8 schools in Idaho. The next charter school is Palouse Prairie Charter School. It's down here on the south end of town, right here. It's a newer facility. It was rated A on niche and 7 out of 10 when it comes to great schools. This one is unique because it focuses on expeditionary learning and outdoor field studies. It's number 1 in public elementary and middle school teachers in Idaho, and number 2 in best charter K-8 schools in all of Idaho. That covers our main public education options, so let's turn to private schools. The first private option is Logos School, which focuses on a classical Christian education. This school has seen a ton of influx as people have moved to town or put their kids in this school. So it actually has grown to multiple campuses all across town. I'll show those to you here. The first campus and the original campus is over here on the west side of town on the corner of A Street and Baker Street right here. Because of the growth in the school, this is primarily now where the junior high kids go. This is also where their basketball or main auditorium is. There's 2 other campuses across Moscow for the lower grades, and then they're actually building a great new facility out here by Mountain View Park. Mountain View Park is right here. This is Mountain View Road right here, and the new Logos campus is located right here. They've got 1 building in with many of the high school students attending there, with plans for more buildings lining this street and over here as well. They've got the football field in, lots of parking, and actually the Christ Church Hall is here as well. Logos received an A+ rating on Niche. There wasn't anything about it on Good Schools. It's noted as the #1 Christian high school in all of Idaho, #1 Christian K-12 school in Idaho, and the #4 best private school in Idaho, and #2 in best high schools for athletes in Latah County, with Kendrick edging them out for first place. We've seen people move from all over the country to put their kids in this school. It's a classical Christian curriculum, like I mentioned, and 91% of the students go on to attend a 4-year college. If people want to continue their classical Christian education, the typical track here is to go from Logos to New St. Andrews College, which is also in Moscow, which has a large community overlap. That's likely a contributor to that 91%. Next private school is St. Mary's Catholic School. It's located right here on the edge of the Fort Russell neighborhood. It didn't have any ratings on any of the primary sites. It does promote a faith-centered education, community service, and small class environment. Finally, Palouse Hills Christian School. On the map, it's located here on the southeast side of Moscow, right off of Highway 8, right here. There weren't any ratings available, but it's a super small school with a Christ-centered worldview, creation-based science, and personalized attention. Now remember, something people love about Moscow is that your kids can go all the way through college without leaving Moscow. So let's talk colleges. Starting, of course, with the University of Idaho. The University of Idaho takes up the vast majority of the southwest side of Moscow. It is located all over here. It has about 11,000 students enrolled and received an A- score on Niche. Some things to note about the University of Idaho: it's a land-grant university, most renowned for agriculture, engineering, and law. It's a leading research university in Idaho. It's ranked 15th in the nation for agricultural sciences. The second college in Moscow is New St. Andrews College, which is a Christian liberal arts college, and it's located right in downtown Moscow, right here. It has about 200 students enrolled, received a B- rating on Niche. It is a niche academic option. One of the reasons why it may have received a lower score on Niche is one of the main things Niche looks at is diversity of options, and NSA right now really just has 1 degree track. That primary track being a classical Christian liberal arts degree. With that said, people do come from all over the country to attend this school. Finally, the honorable mention is WSU, Washington State University, which, if I look at the map, we have Moscow right here. Pullman is just 15 minutes away across the border in Washington here. And if I zoom in, this is all of Washington State University. WSU is known for its veterinary and business program. It also has some pretty decent collegiate sports teams. One final college option in the area is LCSC, Lewis Clark State College down in Lewiston, which is about 30 to 45 minutes south of Moscow. down here on the Snake River. It's known for its sports medicine and nursing programs. Beyond this main list that we just looked at, Moscow also supports niche paths like homeschool co-ops and specialized learning options to support those who need them. If you need something specific, there's often a way to find or build it here. If you're already thinking about moving to Moscow, or if you're interested in buying, selling, or investing in Moscow, Idaho real estate, let me know. This is my number. You can call, text, email, or scan the QR code and we'll get connected. We've got a ton more content on the channel, like these 2 videos on the screen. Check them out and you'll get more helpful information on Moscow, Idaho.